Jay reach out yet? Nah, Bob. He ghosting.
Even though Jay-Z has been quiet about Diddy since it all started going downhill for him, it looks like the two of them might still be in contact. Recently, a phone call between Jay-Z and Diddy allegedly got leaked, and it doesn't sound like Jay-Z will actually be helping his old friend anytime soon. But what exactly was said in that alleged phone call? And where do Jay-Z and Diddy actually stand now?
This is the first time he's not getting a pass with white media. You know, like he can control black media because a lot of them either work or do business with him. You know, but like, you know, Drink Champs can't get him out of this one.
Since September 2024, Diddy's new home has been the New York Metropolitan Detention Center. His legal team has tried to get him out on bail multiple times, even going as far as offering to pay the maximum bail fee so that Diddy could be free for the time being.
So this was the first step. We have a bail appeal scheduled for tomorrow at 3:30 in front of Judge Carter, the district judge assigned to this case. I think that we made the points that we've been wanting to make. I think it came out. Mr. Combs is a fighter. He's going to fight this to the end. He's innocent. He came to New York to establish his innocence. He's not afraid. He's not afraid of the charges. There's nothing that the government said in their presentation today that changes anyone's mind about anything. He's been looking forward to this day. He's been looking forward to clearing his name, and he's going to clear his name. And we're going to stand by his side as he does. We believe in him wholeheartedly. He didn't do these things. This was a 10-year relationship. There's no coercion. There's no crime. There's basically just, you know, someone who brought a civil case and now
is setting Diddy up. Why is everyone having such a hard time?
The interesting thing is that ever since the Diddy allegations came out, Jay-Z has been awfully quiet about everything. But that's not exactly surprising, because everyone knows that if Diddy is found guilty, Jay-Z might be next in line to go down. Everyone believes that Jay-Z not only knows about what Diddy has been doing, but he's also been an active participant.
A major ruling against both P. Diddy and Jay-Z, as a judge rules a rape accuser can remain anonymous, at least for now. And the judge gets spicy in her ruling too, calling out Jay-Z's attorney for filing what she says is a litany of motions that are a waste of judicial resources. But before we can get into this latest motion, let's take a few steps back to look at the basics. Sean Combs, P. Diddy, has been living at the Metropolitan Detention Center for the past 3 months now. That's because he faces federal charges of racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion, and transportation to engage in prostitution. But Diddy's fall from grace came far before his September arrest, but rather last November, when the first civil suit against him was filed alleging sexual abuse. Since then, there have been almost too many civil lawsuits to keep up with, and another high-profile name has recently made its way into a filing: Jay-Z. Sean Carter, Beyoncé's husband, whatever you know him as, is now accused of raping a 13-year-old in the room. Combs aggressively approached plaintiff Jane Doe with a crazed look in his eyes, grabbed her, and said, "You are ready to party."
But his friendship with Diddy seems to be the last thing on his mind lately, and Diddy might just make him regret that. I mean, just take a look at all the years he's facing. If things go badly for him, he could even get a life sentence. But if he works with the feds and gives out information on other elites in Hollywood, it could make his sentence a little bit lighter. And who better to start with than his long-lost best friend, Jay-Z?
How many victims potentially do you think there could be?
Thousands. Thousands. I've talked to hundreds that I deal with still myself. I have 3 victims right now who are willing to give testimony about not only what Mr. Carter has done to them, but his wife as well. They're a nasty little couple. They do nasty things.
What do you think happened with Kim
Keeping people against their will. Putting people on planes while they're unconscious, just like Aaliyah got on that plane. Unconscious. There's a lot of things that people don't want to talk about.
Now, you might think that he wouldn't do this, but in a leaked phone call between Diddy and his son, it sounded very likely. According to Sportskeeda, in the alleged call, Diddy gave his son, Christian Combs, some strict instructions. He told Christian not to say much while they were on the call, and then he told him to get rid of
devices that contain images and videos of the freak-offs with multiple victims. And they seized cases
Oh, this about to get fun for me.
Let me
There's nothing like, have you ever seen what happens to a rat when it's trapped?
But it's not clear if that will actually happen. According to E! News, federal prosecutors filed another motion against Diddy. In the motion they filed in November, they claimed that Diddy had made relentless efforts to contact potential witnesses.
Celebrities, 6 men and 2 women. How many of those 8 celebrities were close to being underage or potentially underage?
2 males.
2 males. And of those 8 celebrities, how many of them were intoxicated or under the influence of drugs?
This is going to be all speculation. I just want to preface it by he wouldn't know if
Appeared
they
to be.
were. Right.
Sure.
Appeared to
Let
be.
me rephrase
right.
it.
Based on, yes.
Understand. Out of the 8 celebrities who were recorded having intimate relations with Sean Combs, how many of them appeared to be either inebriated or intoxicated or under the influence of drugs?
All of them. All of them.
Out of those 8, how many...
I'm quote, after years in silence and darkness, I am finally ready to tell my story and to speak up on behalf of myself and for the benefit of other women who face violence and abuse in their relationships. With the expiration of New York's Adult Survivors Act fast approaching, it became clear that this was an opportunity to speak up about the trauma I have experienced and that I will be recovering from for the rest of my life. Now, just one day after filing this lawsuit in New York federal court, Combs and Ventura agreed to a settlement. Now, as with most settlements, it was confidential. We do not know the terms. Ventura released a statement saying, quote, I have decided to resolve this matter amicably on terms that I have some level of control. I want to thank my family, fans, and lawyers for their unwavering support. Combs released his own statement saying, quote, we have decided to resolve this matter amicably. I wish Cassie and her family all the best. Love. Now, Ben Brafman, who is an attorney for Sean Combs, released a statement saying, quote, just so we're clear, a decision to settle a lawsuit, especially in 2023, is in no way an admission of wrongdoing. Mr. Combs' decision to settle the lawsuit does not in any way undermine his flat-out denial of the claims. He's happy they got to a mutual settlement and wishes Miss Ventura the best.
After all, there have been multiple claims that Diddy has taken the lives of those who stood in his way.
The day Uptown Records started with 5 people. Andre Harrell, I'll be sure.
Raped a 13-year-old girl at an after-party following the 2000 Video Music Awards. Another celebrity stood by and watched as Combs and Carter took turns assaulting the minor. Many others were present at the after-party, but did nothing to stop the assault. Combs has been allowed for years to conduct himself in this manner without any consequences. The plaintiff says she was 13 at the time in January of 2000 when she said she went to the MTV Video Music Awards at Radio City Music Hall. She didn't have a ticket, so she approached limo drivers who were parked outside hoping to get in. The lawsuit says one of the limousine drivers she spoke to claimed to work for defendant Combs. The driver told her that Combs liked younger girls and said that she fit what Diddy was looking for. And while not allowing her into the awards, the driver invited her to an after-party. The driver stated that he had to drive Combs and others to the after-party first, but instructed plaintiff to return to his location after the event and that he pick her up after and take her to the after-party.
And judging from the phone calls the prosecutors want Diddy to stop making, it looks like Jay-Z and Diddy are finally back together. But there's more the prosecutors are accusing Diddy of doing, including contacting people not on his contact list. Obviously, this is against regulations, but it doesn't end here. If anything, that was his least serious crime. The prosecutors also claim that Diddy has been trying to prevent the feds from listening to his calls by using Contact Me ASAP. And Contact Me ASAP is
family members to reach out to potential victims and witnesses, urging them to create narratives to influence a jury pool. Allegations that could land Combs in even more trouble.
And when you add the fact that they believe that he's trying to influence witnesses, well, let's just say that Diddy is not in a good place with the prosecutor.
Inmates. The defendant is explicit about his intention to use public statements to alter public perception, and the defendant leaves no doubt that the narrative he wants to leave is the potential jury pool's perception of this criminal proceeding. And examples of these efforts, they say, are plentiful, and then they black out and they redact all of those examples. First, Bradford, Why the redactions?
Well, the redactions probably because they don't want it to then make it public what his position is. Like, I didn't do it. This one witness, she did X, Y, Z. I'm sure that there's things in there that the government doesn't want the public to hear because the government has their narrow view of what's going on, right? And whenever the defendant then wants to address that narrow view and put out his own statement or address it in a different way, they want to curtail that because they have a certain way to look at a case. They don't want anyone looking at it differently.
They claim that he wanted to use his birthday to push his innocence, and he was going to do this while on a call with his family. Although they knew what he was going to do, it's not like they could stop him from talking to his family.
All right, sing happy birthday to Daddy.
Keep going.
Happy birthday on the phone too. Pops, love eating all your cake, so you're not gonna have none left.
She's literally digging her face in it.
Yeah, you got to buy you a new one. Yo, she's face down in the cake right now. Say hey, Chance.
Happy birthday to Mom. We love you.
Chance is right here too. If you can hear on the phone. One more time.
A lot of people heard his call with his family, and it sounded like Diddy was just your average family man being kept away from his loved ones unfairly. Did anybody actually buy that? Probably not, but he still tried it. And the prosecutors also said in the motion that one of the calls they